Looks like we got an image of John's. Looks like it's like a.
I see him crushing up a bunch of pills onto a table back there.
It looks like
he's got him on looks some kind of like a plate or a mirror. Now he's rolling up a.
You can see
something
that?
he took out of his wallet. Yeah.
To me, it looks like someone wearing like a black, like an inflatable fetish outfit, and they just put the computer in front of him in an all dark room, and I can just see like the glints, like an inflatable fetish thing. He's like completely immobile,
like a gimp costume that's not made out of leather, but it's made out of like some kind of like plastic vinyl.
Yeah, and you pump it up with air, so you can't move. Just pressurizes your whole body. Is that what's going on there? Or?
Yeah, now he just rubbed his finger on the plate of whatever he crushed up, and he's rubbing it on his gums. It's pretty degenerate kind of behavior.
He's got a wife and kids upstairs. It's crazy.
It's probably a cry for help. Like, why is he doing it in front of us?
I know. Like, maybe he'll probably come to the camera and be like, oh, I didn't know this was on, even though he turned it on. Oh, I didn't know you guys saw me doing that. Oh, yeah, what's going on? And then we have to pretend we didn't see it, and that he's nodding out throughout the whole episode. Pretend nothing's...
I'm not going to say anything, because that's not how you get help for this kind of stuff. I'm not going to feed into that, like, a negative attention-seeking behavior.
Is that what it is? My friend was telling me... This is totally serious. I think it's really funny. He said his friend had him over. I was working with this guy. We were chit-chatting. He had his... Hey, John.
Hey, John. No, you're right.
I'm just telling a funny anecdote. A friend told me, friend of a friend, had his friend invited like a bunch of people over and to just hang out during the afternoon. And this friend just like kept going down the room, like doing something and coming back and just like nodding out. And something about that is so funny to me that you just like think no one's going to notice that you're like drooling on yourself and nodding out. I think that would be, I don't know. Something about that is extremely funny to me. Did you have to? And everyone's pretending like, okay, we'll talk to you later.
That happened. We went. This is like a true story. I went to New York to see my friend, and he just like clearly didn't want to see us at all. And we were at his place, and we just fell asleep. Like it was around noon. He like passed out. Like took a nap. We had just gotten there. And he's like, I'm gonna just take like a quick nap. We're like, yeah. He just hung out in his like kitchen while he took a nap. Then he got up. He asked if we were hungry, and he ordered us food. He didn't let us see what we were ordering. Like, he just ordered for us. Got the food, and then he went back to sleep.
Oh.
And then
it's pretty awesome.
That's cool.
I refused to accept that he had some sort of drug problem. I was like, he's just tired. He's just probably worked hard this week. And Steph was like, no, he's like a heroin addict. And I was like, oh, makes sense.
Was he?
Yeah. He's fucked up.
Thank you for sending clothes to me.
Oh, you got
family's struggling. Yeah. The families, we don't have a lot of money right now, and I've just been kind of casually mentioning, I'm glad you picked up on this, not having a lot of money for clothes. We kept sending you pictures of Nora just like wearing like t-shirts, like safety pin to like fit her and stuff.
I thought that was like a style thing. I thought you were being like DIY.
No, it's a cry for help.
Oh, well, I picked up on it.
I sent
you a bag of clothes.
That's why we're friends.
I sent you a bunch of old discarded clothes that it was just
children honestly, shat on. Your daughter shat on, puked on, pissed on.
Honestly, it was easier to mail them to you than to throw them out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
John, what's up? John, you got a little bitchy face on you right now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
chewing gum, and you have like one little limp hand up. Looking at something on your computer, your eyes are not looking at the screen or the camera.
I'm sorry, I just woke up. I woke up and had to take a shit. My stomach hurts. I got a little headache.
Oh, man.
I'm fine. It's just I napped too long. You know what I mean?
I've had diarrhea for 3 days straight.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm just white knuckling it.
Welcome to the Fantasy Cast podcast, where three grown men pass the time by sharing their deepest, darkest fantasies. Here we go.
I know you're probably sick of hearing about this guy, John, but I'm really on the Machine Gun Kelly frequency right now. I listened to his whole album. Yeah.
Dude, do you like him? Do you like Machine Gun Kelly? You gotta check out his drummer.
Travis Barker.
No, there's another guy. Karma, Mod's son, Karma. Guys, let's watch this video together. You guys are gonna love this guy. This guy's energy. Just found out about him. I love this guy.
All right, go ahead.
Love this. This is Mod's son, Karma, directed by Machine Gun Kelly. Oh my god, this is embarrassing as shit. Can you hear this?
Mm-hmm.
This shit sucks. So much ass.
Oh, yeah. You showed this to us.
Look at this guy. There's no way this guy doesn't come from a divorced family. You know what I mean? There's just no way this guy's parents are not divorced. Machine Gun Kelly directed this video.
What's crazy is the clearly the weakest part of this whole video is that it's directed like shit. It's just like 3 camera shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just figured I'd share that with you guys. It's just some new music that I found out about that's just incredibly interesting.
It's really it's got to be, it's like the most low energy directorial effort ever.
Oh, this guy's tight. He's tight with Avril.
Yeah, I think he was dating her. They were in a relationship together. Yeah,
he's got to be just like a pop punk studio musician.
I looked at his Wikipedia and he knew some of the guys from Sublime, so you know he's kind of a Venice. He's kind of a Venice guy.
You can tell from the live performances that Machine Gun Kelly's backing band are all just like seasoned pros that are completely carrying him on like the music end. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like he barely even picks up a guitar.
It's weird, like Los Angeles professional musicians that have like a ton of tattoos. Yeah, they'll just like play in the background of Machine Gun Kelly and like, I don't know, probably like the likes of Avril Lavigne. It's like rock star people that were never in like a real rock band or were in like LA rock bands of like Cornball, like Slash's Snake Pit or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like the guy from Stone Temple Pilots' other band.
Yeah.
It's weird.
They probably make the equivalent of like like $80,000 a year for like the most grueling, insane work schedules. Like you have to go on tour for like a couple months. I'm sure they're getting like laid all the time and like getting fucked up. So it's got to be fun, But
something about
I'm sure
it
it's hard to have like a regular life.
Very calculated in a weird way.
Yeah.
It's kind of nerdy.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah.
It's a craft thing. Like they're never going to get noticed walking down the street.
Yeah, but you're like, that's like a rock
they would only,
guy.
But like industry people would, or like other like nerds, music nerds would notice them.
Maybe. That's like teenage girl music.
Yeah, but all these guys are like our age.
Listen to us going on and on and on. John's in a band. And he's just chewing his gum and just looking silent. He's uninterested. He doesn't care. Checking his phone.
John's in a band called Powered by Heroes. Can I introduce us today, Mike?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so this is the Fantasy Podcast where just a couple of guys throughout the course of the week, me, Mike, and John, we think about different fantasies that get us hard, or
It's just three working class guys.
yeah, it's just three working class stiffs trying to make ends meet for our families, trying to not to fall into abject poverty. All of us probably make significantly less money than our significant others, so we're routinely humiliated in the home. Real role reversal from what our parents' experience was like. So to keep from drowning in our own like shame and fear, we think about different things that help make us feel good about ourselves and maybe help get us off, and even make us feel horny or make us feel alive or whatever. And then every couple of weeks we come together and we share them with each other. It's a Fantasy Cast podcast, and that's what we're here for. So today we're going to be talking about the sexually inspired topic of real eyes, realize, realize. So that's real eyes, blink, 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 realize, real lies. Liar, liar. So that's and any kind of sexual iteration of that, general idea is what we're kind of spinning on today. So I don't know if anybody feels inspired to jump into it. I know, John, you're feeling pretty sleepy. Maybe this will kickstart your adrenaline if you want to go, or if you want to just sit back in the cut and wait.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll go.
My man.
So I'm just turned 18.
Mm-hmm.
Like 5'9", 103 pounds. No, I'm a little taller. I'm like 6 foot. I'm like 6'1", 103 pounds. Skinny guy.
Yeah.
Like perfect hair, kind of model like, you know what I mean? Just a slick little prick, you know what I mean?
White boy.
It's like just a little waif, just a little feather man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So my dad is like giving me the ultimatum. He's like, what do you like? You're done with school. You don't want to go to college. You got to do something. And I was like, well, what if I join the military and like just got a job in computers, got like an IT job? And he's like, all right, good, do it. So I sign up for the Army, and, go to basic training, and everyone there is like pretty, everyone's like an alpha. And I'm just not, and like I can see that everyone's kind of like looking at me like what's this little guy gonna do like if he's in combat, and just kind of no one's really picking on me, but I just see guys staring at me. And when we're deeper into training and the guys are hornier and more hard up, they just keep like everyone's just kind of eyeballing me, and I start to tease a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I had to clean the bathrooms. Like, it told me I had to clean the bathrooms. So I took off my belt and like sort of pulled, like I pulled my, I'm wearing panties. These little pink panties. Super tan from, training out in the desert.
Mood skin.
Pull them kind of low, like get a little whale tail going. And this guy sees me and he's just like, I know he wants to do something. And he doesn't, he resists or whatever. And then I'm always whistling like show tunes and shit like that. Like, and they're just like, what the fuck are you? Like, why are you here? So eventually it kind of goes up the ladder, and this like, I don't know what's this. An officer approaches me, and he's like, "Would you be interested in?" He's like, "I know you don't really want to be a soldier." He's like, "Would you be interested in doing like a special ops sort of thing?" I'm just like, "Well, what is that? What is it?" And he's like, "Can't really tell you, but he's like, it pays significantly more. It's not as dangerous, and you'd be perfect for it." So I agree to do it. I get sent out to like San Francisco. for training, and so training is like just it's a lot of hand-eye coordination exercises, and like not really any there's no like lifting weights or running, and there's less food, so it seems like they're kind of like trying to get us even smaller, but we have very strong hands, and like always playing with clay and like sand. They serve ice cream at every meal, like just like little cups of yogurt. I mean, just like real fruity sort of stuff. There's always veggies around. It's super healthy. They give us vitamins, like a daily vitamin. And I'm there for like 3 months, take this vitamin, and I start thinking that the training is more of a sexual thing than it is an actual position in the military. I'm gonna start wondering that like maybe we're gonna get used up by, the higher ups. So they give me my daily vitamin, and I just put it under my tongue, and I take it out, and then I take it to one of my friends who's a chemist, and I'm like, could you test this and tell me what it is? And he does. He gets back to me in like 3 days. He's like, it's a mix of ecstasy and semen. And I'm just like, okay, that makes sense, because they're doing some. I feel like I'm part of some sort of mission, So I hold on to all the pills for the next couple months. I'm just hiding them. I'm hiding the pills in my socks, and ask other cadets what's going on, what do they think is happening, and then everyone's kind of clueless. And I keep talking about it, and it eventually goes up to higher people, and they bring me in because they know I'm suspicious. I know the officer is like, he's like, what is what's going on? Like, we've heard you've been asking questions about the program. You're not sure what it is. And he's like, this place is just one big jubilee. And I was like, what? And he's like, it's just a jubilee. And he smiles. And I realized that jubilee is like, it's like the word, she's like a Manchurian candidate sort of thing. That's the word that is supposed to set me off. And he says it again. And then I really know, like, all right, I'm supposed to do whatever I've been trained to do. But I haven't been taking the drugs, so I don't necessarily know if I'm supposed to just get them off or fuck them to death. So I get on my hands and knees, I crawl over towards him, pull his penis out, and I start jacking him off. And he's like, very, that's very good. So I go back to work. I don't question it again. And I decided I want to, be a whistleblower on this whole thing. I tell the other guys about it. And they decide that we're going to seduce the captain. And while he's dazed from fucking me, they're going to sneak in and get the files. And they're just going to put it out on Twitter. They're going to tweet every, major news source they can. Rachel Maddow, So I get the guys to come into his office. There's like 10 of us. And I yell out Jubilee. And all the guys just pull their pants off. Like just real slinky little guys, Everyone's 6 foot, 93 pounds, tan as fuck, wearing tiny little panties, no socks, just fucking little slices. So I yell out Jubilee. We all crawl towards him, and he's just like, oh fuck, he's like, wants it to stop because he knows that we have the power of fucking him to death. And I start blowing him. This other guy starts kissing his face, and 2 other dudes are kissing his ears. There's like four guys have like fingers in his ass, and he's just screaming in pain. And then I'm like, guys, I'm gonna let him come. So the guy comes, and then he's just like, oh, and I'm like, get the files. So the guys grab the files, and we tweet it out to everyone. No one believes us. That's it.
People forget about it a week later.
Yeah, it ain't gonna stick.
Doesn't have legs.
It has no legs. This shit happens all the time. Fort Bragg.
There's like a couple of like leftist Twitter accounts that are like this, all of this, but after like a couple days, it just fades out.
Yeah.
I thought about one of your other fantasies that one of my favorite fantasies of yours, where you're in jail. You keep showing guys, like teasing your hole to guys, you know?
Yeah, I think I'm really into teasing out my ass to people, and also having an ass that is so good that people are like obsessed with me.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's just like a full-fledged army of twinks, you know, at the military's disposal. You could do a lot of damage with that.
It's like, imagine if we flipped it and it was like, you had imagine 15 Jenna Hayeses, like in their prime. That could fuck you to death for sure.
Yeah. Think about this. You, like, for the first time in decades, you have like the North Korean, you know, president comes over to the United States for like a diplomatic dinner, and it's catered by you guys, like your team. Like you guys all, you know, pretend to be caterers. Somebody yells out Jubilee. You guys are fucking and sucking the entire North Korean delegation until there's not an ounce of liquid left in their bodies, and they're just dry husks. A stiff breeze could blow them out the window. Dust in the wind. That's powerful.
Well, a lot of those guys aren't allowed to bust because the president doesn't allow them to. So a lot of them are really weak, but then the main boss, whatever his name is, he would be really hard to. It'd be a real challenge.
Yeah,
but I think you could get it with American training. You can definitely do it.
Yeah. Imagine that, Mike, John, if you never came before because your president wouldn't allow it. The first time you actually bust, you're in a foreign country, you're probably jet lagged. You probably have some kind of food poisoning because your system isn't used to like eating American food. And then an army of studs, skinny little wafy studs, makes you bust for the first time.
Oh, it'd be incredible.
Whaley guys with one thing on their mind.
Greasy boys just ready to fucking do it all.
You know what's crazy, John? And this is you'll see this as my fantasy unravels.
You have the same exact fantasy.
It's eerily similar. And
I feel like that happens.
That's
each
happened
week.
a couple times.
Yeah.
I think that we're very much on the same sexual frequency. And I know we share a lot of.
We live together, you know. So
yeah, we do a lot of the same cum tributes.
Yeah,
we share a cum tribute page. So I feel like it's kind of like menstruating at the same time. We just have the same sexual fantasies. So I'll just go ahead and jump into mine if that's okay with you, Mike.
Yeah, that's fine. Go for it. I don't have anything.
So I'm a young guy, 22 years old. I just got my whole future, set up. I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm settled down with a girl, got a good job. My girl, out of nowhere, leaves me for my boss. So just like that, I'm out of a relationship. I'm out of and I'm out of a job and I'm out on my ass and I'm really just down on myself. I'm just really on edge. Don't see a future for myself. Wandering around, just praying for a car to run me over. Don't want to live anymore. I'm like, man, I'm going to go unwind a little bit, go to my favorite bar. I'm walking over and a bunch of thugs approach me and they're like, hey man, your money or your life. And I'm like, what the fuck are you going to do to me? What are you lot going to do to me that hasn't already been done to me by the world? I'm a full powder keg and I'm just waiting for a match to go off. And I'm getting like really exaggerated, like Al Pacino, you know?
Uh-huh.
I'm waiting for a match to hit me and go, bah! Are you guys going to be that match? Huh? Are you guys going to be that match? And they're like, whoa. This guy's twisted. Let's get out of here. He's liable to go off his rocker any minute. So they run off. I scare him off because I'm just so depressed and psychotic. And I walk into the bar and I set a saddle up to the bar and I'm like, bartender, just keep him coming. And I'm drinking drink after drink. And a dude sits down next to me. He's like, man, you're really hitting the sauce pretty hard, man. What's going on? I'm like, man, if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. I look over across the room. I see my ex-girlfriend and my boss sitting around with all of my friends that chose her in the breakup. And my parents are there too because they like her better than me. And she's showing them all how bad I am at eating her out. She's like doing like the eat out thing, or motion with her fingers by her tongue, and then pointing at me and laughing. And she also does like the limp hand thing to indicate that I can't get it up. And so I'm just sitting there seething, looking over there seething, and the guy's like, oh, I get it, girl trouble. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm just thinking about ending it all tonight, just going home and swallowing a bottle of pills and chasing it with a cup of bleach in the bathtub with a toaster. And he's like, I'll tell you what, man, before you do that, I got a little something for you. And he goes up to the DJ booth. It's DJ night at the bar. And he puts on a song. It's like a house song. It's like, and this vocal comes on and it's like, in the night, the music hits you. In the night, it'll bring you back to life. In the night, the music hits you and it goes. And the music just reverberates into my soul. And I don't know, just something happens. And I get up and I just start dancing. And I'm out on the dance floor. I'm just dancing by myself. And everybody's, all my friends and my parents are laughing at me and, taking like pictures and posting it on social media of just me dancing there. But I don't give a fuck. And I'm just losing myself, to this song. And the DJ looks at me and he gives me like a knowing nod. And he knows that he saved my life that night. The DJ saved my life with that song, played a song, and I had the power to save my life. And I go dancing out of there and I go dancing home and I wake up. Next day I walk right across the street, right to the Army recruitment office. And I'm like, I got nothing going on. Sign me up for whatever you got. So they sent me over to basic training. And, their drill sergeant is like, all right, maggots, rise and shine, shit, shower, and shave in 5 minutes and report back here. And so I go, I shit, shower, and shave, and I report back in like 3 minutes. And the drill sergeant's like, God damn, son, you are quick. Are you meaning to tell me that you shit, showered, and shaved in 5 minutes? And I'm like, yeah, I shit, showered, and shaved, and I jacked off. He's like, you mean to tell me that you shit, shower, shaved, and jacked off in 3 minutes? And I'm like, yep. And like, it's one of those things where like they know it's not something that anybody can really do. It's like shit, shower, and shave in 5 minutes is very difficult. So they expect a lot of people to lag behind. So drill sergeant's like gets on the phone. He's like, he's talking to gets on the phone with the general, like the guy at the highest up. And he's like, listen, I got a guy that you got to meet. I'm going to send him over there. So he's like, son, you're coming with me. So we go and we report to the general. And the general's like, the general's like, drill sergeant here is telling me that you shit showered, shaved, and jacked off in 3 minutes. I'm like, sir, yes, sir. And he's like, so you can jack off pretty quickly, huh? He's like, sir, I can, sir. And he's like, okay, well, why don't you jack off for me now? And I'm like, sir. And the drill sergeant punches me in the stomach, and I like fall to my knees. And he's like, when the general asks you to do something, you fucking do it. Am I make myself clear? I'm like, sir, yes, sir. On my pants, I start jacking off, and the general pulls his glasses down to like get a look at my dick, and they fall off his nose. And so he leans down to pick them up, and before he can put them back on, I have already had my dick out, got hard, and came on his foot. And he's like, well, I'll be goddamn. You mean to tell me that in that time that I went down to pick up my glasses, you came? I'm like, sir, yes, sir. And I was, mind you, I'm probably like 5 feet away from him. So not only did I come, I came 5 feet, and I hit his shoe intentionally. And the general's like, you did that on purpose, didn't you? I'm like, sir, yes, I did, sir. I don't like to be rushed or told what to do. And so the general's like, son, what if I told you that you could help out the U.S. Army in a way that was better than you could have ever imagined? I'm like, I would like that very much, sir. And he's like, warfare now, it's different. All the soldiers now, all they want to do is jack off and play video games. So the battlefield of the future is going to be a hearts and minds, and we want to recruit you to join our national jack-off team, where we compete with other countries for high-stakes diplomatic missions. And I'm like, sure, sir, I would like that very much. He's like, okay, but you're as good as you are at jacking off, as quickly as you can jack off, you're still very green. So we're going to call in a hardened veteran of the jack-off game to give you some pointers. And so he brings in this guy. His name is Tony Squirt Rodriguez, and they just call him Squirt Rodriguez. I'm like, oh my God, Squirt Rodriguez, it's an honor to meet you. I've heard all about you. You jacked off on the floor of a Iranian torture chamber while you were being tortured, and made your torturer slip and break his neck and escaped the POW camp. That was you. And he's like, that is right. That was me. I'm like, man, I read a whole Atlantic article about you. That was amazing. And he's like, yep. And I'm here to get you in prime shape for the international stage. I'm like, well, let's do it. So we go through, like, I won't bore you guys with the details of all the things that we did, but one of the things is to get my manual dexterity down. I dress up each one of my fingers like a dragonfly, and I go out to the middle of a pond, like a really sexy female dragonfly, and I put my hand out there, and a bunch of male dragonflies try to fly on my hand and fuck them, and I got to keep moving my fingers around so they don't land on them. And like dragonflies are very nimble, so my fingers are moving around like very quickly, and then Squirt comes over with a teeny tiny little black light, and he sees if there's any dragonfly come on it, and he won't let me off the boat until there's no dragonfly come. So that's one thing. Another thing is we're in a classroom, and he's like, what do you think about when you jack off? And I'm like, well, I think about the best sex I've ever had. So he writes on a chalkboard, he's like, best sex you ever had. And I'm like, that's right. And he walks over there very slowly, and he puts an N in front of the ever, right? And he's like, I want you to think about the best sex you never had. And I'm like, oh my God. So I do it, and it shaves like 3 seconds off my cum time, I'm like, holy God, this guy is fucking good. So lastly, he takes me to a zoo after hours, and he throws me in like a tank of water in like some exhibit. I'm not sure what the exhibit is, but the water's cold as shit. And he dumps a bunch of ice in there, and I'm treading water, and he's like, all right, it's ice cold water. You're gonna have to jack off and come. And I'm like, you really expect me to jack off and come in this cold water? And he's like, well, you better, because you're not getting out of there until you come. And a door opens, and a bunch of penguins come out. I'm like, what is that supposed to scare? What are these penguins going to do to me? He's like, let's just say that it's feeding time. They haven't eaten yet, and that little pecker of yours looks a lot like a fish. And so all these penguins jump into the water, and they're like swimming around me, you know, like circling me, getting real close to my dick. And I'm like, oh, so I'm jacking off as fast as I fucking can. And believe it or not, guys, I come into that ice cold water, and he throws down a rope ladder, and I climb out just as a penguin goes, and just barely, like, if I wasn't circumcised already, that penguin would have clipped my fucking foreskin right off. And long story short, I'm ready. And so I go and I the warm up activity before I hit the national stage is I go and I go up in like a regional competition against Navy. Now you guys familiar, Navy guys and Army guys fucking hate each other, but the Navy guys are fucking incredible at jacking off because they're out at sea and all they do is fuck each other and jack off. So you have some of the best guys at jacking off in the whole country. So, you know, I hit the competition. I'm immediately faster than everybody. I can come further than everybody. I can come more than everybody, and I can come more accurately than everybody. And they are fucking pissed. They hate me for it. They're super jealous. I blow them out of the water. So they put us all in an airplane and they fly us over to Russia for the international competition. And we're Team USA, me and a bunch of Navy guys. So on the airplane, we're flying over and I have one of those little like eye masks on, right? And I'm trying to get some rest. And like the biggest guy on the Navy team walks over to me. He's like the load guy. He's the guy that can bust the most. And he pulls out his dick and he's like, what's to stop me from jamming my cock down your throat and blowing a load down there and choking you to death? And I pull down I pull up my mask and I look at him and I say, I'm looking at his dick and it's fucking big, right? And it's pointed like right at my mouth. And I'm like, that's a nice dick you got there. It would probably be pretty nice if you could see it for the rest of your life. And he looks down and I have my dick out and I have a laser pointer at the end of it. And there's a dot right between his eyes. And it's rock hard. And he knows that if I come, he'll be blinded, you know? So I got him. Checkmate. Yeah. So he's like, oh, he can't believe it. He's like, oh. And all his, you know, his friends are laughing at him and he walks back. But he respects me for it. And they all respect me for it. And we're good after that. So we get to Russia. We're about to face the Russia team. These guys are fucking sharks. And Squirt told me, he's like, they're going to try every fucking trick in the book to throw you guys off. They play dirty. They don't play fair. They lie all the time. So you just got to watch your back out there. So we fly in, we land, we go to the hotel. The Navy guys are like, hey, we're going to order some room service, watch some movies, edge each other before the big weigh-in tomorrow. So at the weigh-in, they weigh your like limp dick so that you don't show up to the competition already hard. You know, so they weigh your limp dick and they give you a drug test. And I'm like, no, they appreciate it, guys, but I'm just going to, you know, I had a long flight. I'm going to get some rest, maybe do some hog work before the competition. So these guys so next morning at the weigh-in, all my teammates pop positive for Blue Chew. And the Russians put a bunch of Blue Chew in their room service food, you know. So they're immediately disqualified. So I'm the only one left on the Team USA. So I have to do all the competitions. I have to do the speed, the distance, the volume, the accuracy. I have to do it all, right? So all the weight is on my shoulders. So I'm like, fuck. So I hit the bar at the hotel and I'm like, you know, drinking, kind of stressing out. And one of the guys from the Russian team comes up to me and is like, listen, because, you know, opposition, but that doesn't mean we can't be cordial. Let me buy you a drink of the best vodka in Russia and we'll do a cheers. I'm like, okay. We hold up our glasses and we do a cheers and we both take our shot. And he's chuckling to himself. He's like, I'm like, what's so funny? Oh, I know why you're laughing. You think that just because you put a bunch of saltpeter in my vodka, saltpeter is used to like suppress erections, that I drank it and I'm not going to get hard for the competition tomorrow. But what you don't know is I learned how to sniff out saltpeter way before I even came to Russia. And what I did is I used my dragonfly fingers to switch the glasses right as we were cheersing, you know? So he ends up drinking it and his face just turns completely white. And he's like, fuck, flash forward, we're at the competition, right? Big, like soccer stadium, probably like 100,000 people there. And I'm up on the stage and we're doing the volume. He's the volume guy, right? So we're doing the volume competition. So he gets up on stage and he's just like hangdog expression, limp, can't get it up. And he's just sitting there struggling to get his dick hard. And I immediately whip out my dick and I blast so much load into the cup that it overflows. And the American fans are so excited. They're like running out on the field and they're like licking up all the cum, like overflowed. They're like so excited. They're lifting me up. And all the Russian fans are so just like enraged that they run out in the field and they're just fucking tear this guy apart like a piece of bread, like thrown to pigeons at a park. They're just like ripping him to shreds. They kill him. So I'm feeling pretty good about myself. I go back to the hotel room and a bunch of and these two women knock on my door, and they're the most beautiful women you've ever seen in your entire life. You know, one of them is like the top like Miss Russia. Can't get any more beautiful than her. The other one is like she's cute. She's definitely hot, right? So I'm like, they're like falling all over each other. They're like so horny. They're basically like two worms, like just like slithering and sliding all over each other while staring at me. And they're like, we're here to welcome you to Russia and give you whatever you want. And I'm like, okay, come on in. So we're getting freaky. We're starting to like get undressed, right? And I say to the really, really hot one, I'm like, hold on. I want you to stop right there. I want you to go sit down on that chair and just watch what happens. So I take the cute one and I'm like having all sorts of crazy sex with her. But the whole time I'm making like chit chat and small talk with this really hot one. And we're just connecting on so many levels. Our childhood were the same. We have like a deep spiritual conversation. We're just like really getting to know each other. Whole time I'm blasting like 3 or 4 times. So they go home and I show up to the competition the next day. And I see these 2 girls sitting next to the Russian coach. He had sent them over to drain me out. You know what I mean? To like suck all the cum out of me. And this is like this is like the volume, the distance, the speed, the everything, right? And so I walk up on stage and I'm limping. And so the Russian coach, he's like, yeah, my girls did a number on him. He can barely even stand up. I pull my pants down. And my left nut is fucking huge. It's like chock full of so much cum. And what I learned how to do is I learned how to have a cum reserve in my left nut. And the whole time I'd just been busting on my right nut.
Yeah, I know.
So all the cum was just in my left nut. So I bust this just massive wad, way farther than anybody's ever done. I'm breaking records. And in the accuracy one, there's one of those like sperm sample cups, and if you get it in the sperm sample cup, that cup is auctioned off to charity, and like somebody can take the cum home. So of course I hit it like bullseye, fill it up with cum. What got me to come so fast and so hard and so accurate at the end is I was thinking about the Russian girl that I wasn't having sex with. I win the championship. I'm being carried out of there. As I'm going out, I see on the Jumbotron, I see, and the winner of the auction it's my ex-girlfriend who dumped me. She has my vial of cum, right? And I'm being carried off by the United States fans. And I'm carried out of there. I smile at her, and that's the end of it. Like, give her a knowing, like, and I flip my middle finger, and she smiles and flips me off back.
Did you when you were feeding the penguins?
Mm-hmm.
Was it just one load, or were you jacking off for each penguin?
No, it was just one load. Like I was just trying to get out of there.
Just a big old dummy load.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
One thing that I forgot to say, or a note that I just didn't include, is in one of the competitions, one of the Russian guys puts a butt plug, like a vibrating butt plug, up his ass to help him come faster. And one of the guys on my team is like, "Did you see that? Are you going to tell the refs?" I'm like, "Nah, I ain't going to do anything." And so I kneel down and I whisper something into the Russian guy's ass. And turns out it was a voice activated. I recognized the model, and it's a voice activated butt plug, vibrating butt plug. And I'd whispered like maximum overdrive. And this thing just starts going buck wild. And this guy's like bouncing around like he's dancing. And he ends up just like spraying cum all over his entire teammate, all his teammates, like losing the competition.
This is a feature film here.
That's what I was thinking.
This is a movie.
Yeah, this is.
It's got everything.
Like, it's got everything. I really felt
it's about
good
a guy
this one.
overcoming a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Is really what it's about. You get dumped in the beginning, the ex-girlfriend, and at the end you overcome it. You overcome it.
Yeah, and at no point is there any real tension because you know I have it in lock the entire time. I've been trained.
That's not true. That's not true. What about those two girls? The two girls, remember? And you're like, oh shit, I guess he was drained.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, there's reveals in it.
Yeah.
There's drama to be sucked out of this thing.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so that's a wrap, huh?
Yeah, my fantasy's complete.
Oh, right. I guess I have to go still. Okay, so what's the theme?
Real eyes, realize, real lies.
Real eyes, realize, real lies. Okay. So I'm a pickup artist. So I do a lot of lying myself. I'm a king of seduction. I'm 22 years old, white piece of shit, look like fucking one of Tom Hanks's kids or something like that. You know what I mean? Went to a white bread ass college. Think I'm funny. If you or I saw this guy at a bar making jokes, we'd be like, this is one of the unfunniest pieces of shit I've ever seen in my life. But he like thinks he's making his like dumb friends laugh with like basically they get their entire culture off of like Logan Paul and stuff like that. But I've been doing I've been on like Reddit pickup artist stuff my whole life, so I've been like fucking since I was like 12 years old. Because I was like kind of good looking and I was on like lacrosse team. And so I'm going around to like these white bread ass clubs, like think of like DePaul University in Chicago, just these brain dead white ass people. Never had an idea or a dream in their lives. Even like the cool people on campus are kind of stupid and ugly. And I'm just cleaning up, doing pickup artist stuff. So found like the best places to pick people up are places you would really think, but no one really has the balls to do it. So I'll hang around the condom and lube section of like a Target and like pick up women there. Just because it just like subconsciously exudes like sexual energy. I'll go to a like a 7-Eleven or something like that and just hang around, loiter around the counter and just like pick up different nudie mags. Just be like looking through them, making small talk with the cashier and like any like single moms wearing yoga pants, sunglasses, ponytail, baseball hats, seemingly emotionally impenetrable with their children. Like I'll be able to break them down just by like looking at pornography and being like, hey, what's up? Like wearing a tank top, I'm a little sweaty. 5 minutes later, I'm upstairs in their condo that's just all white walls. Just a leather couch, some scattered toys on the ground, their kids locked up in the bedroom, and I'm just going at it. Third place I go is like Victoria's Secret. I'll hang around there, commenting on different kinds of panties and stuff like that. Saying I'm shopping for my girlfriend, and I have sex with the people that work there. I have sex with the manager, sex with like the janitor, the male janitor, I have sex with the women who come in there. They all know me, and we're all cool with it. Because in this fantasy, it's a sex positive world where everyone is like, it's cool. It's a couple years down the line where everyone is just like more cool with just like casual sex and being friendly to each other and stuff. Let me see. And so there's a serial killer. I'm in Chicago, Illinois, and there's a serial killer on the loose that's killing. He's another pickup artist. So the FBI and the police both come to me. It's two women. There's a blonde woman who's the police officer. She's beautiful and stunning in her own way, but she's a little more down to earth. There's an FBI agent. She's a brunette. She's a little more uptight and cutthroat. And she's got extremely sharp cheekbones. And kind of like pointy eyes, but she's white and a tight ponytail. And she's a little more severe, doesn't like my jokes. The blonde cop, local cop, is really cool. We have sex like on the first night. And like we go to a bar, like a bar in Wrigleyville. And I'm telling her about seeing John Mayer and the Grateful Dead. And I show her my jam band tattoo and stuff like that. And she takes me to her apartment. She lives in Wrigleyville. She has two roommates, and she takes me to her bedroom, and she's like, I start putting the moves on her. She's like, this is too fast. We work together. We shouldn't be doing this. And I'm like, she's just wearing a bra and like cop pants. It's like beige cop pants. And they're really tight. And she's wearing like a white bra. She has white like curly-ish hair, but it's longer. And she's just wearing a bra. And we're sitting side by side on a bed, and I'm like trying to take her bra off, and she's like, no, stop, let's just talk. And then she makes me some tea, like in a bra and pants, like in the kitchen, and like I'm just sitting there drinking this tea. I'm like, that's fine, let's just have some tea, that's cool. Her roommate comes in, and she's wearing like a college sweater, and she has brown hair. She has brown hair, and I start flirting with her. I'm like, hey, what's your name? What's your name? Cindy. I do some magic tricks for her. I can tell that like the blonde cop can tell that her roommate is like all for it. And I was like, you want to go out and get a drink? So anyways, I basically tricked them both into having sex with me, a three-way. So the serial killer, they're like, so the serial killer is a pickup artist. We need you to get into his head. Okay, so as I'm toweling off, I'm like, why don't you tell me some of the details? You tell me the areas that he seems to be. I'm like, okay, that's like right around here, Wrigleyville. That's cool. That's kind of like where I hang out. So I know these spots. I know this guy. I bet you he's part of the community. I dress up as a attractive woman. And the pickup art, and I'm trying to get hit on by pickup artists. I can sniff them out. Guys doing magic tricks, guys that are laughing too loud, guys that smile with both of their teeth showing somehow. I get into a couple situations. We kill a couple guys by accident, thinking that they are the serial killer. Like one of them gets shot in the head by the FBI cop. She's so shaken up that we have like kind of like angry sex in the bathroom. She's in there crying. I pound on the door, kick it down. I'm like, you got to get your shit together. We got to save lives. This person's going to keep killing people. And she starts choking me, and then I'm like, come on, don't do this. You don't want to do this. And then she notices I have an erection, and she starts looking down, and she's like, you pig, you worm. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I can't help it. You know what I mean? I say like in a whiny voice. And she thinks that's funny and slaps me. She slaps me. She points a finger at me and she's like, you shut up. You're a worm. You're a sick worm. You know what I mean? And then I straight up shove her against the bathroom wall kind of hard. She's like shocked, like, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? It's like a back and forth power thing. And I like, I'm sorry. You scared me. You know what I mean? And she starts giving me a blowjob in the bathroom. It's a men's room. And a guy comes in next to us and starts taking like a huge shit. It's something about the smell really just takes things up to the next level. Anyways, we have like passionate sex in there, and like our clothes are all ripped up. We come out of there, and the female cop is tapping her foot, and her hands are on her hips, and she's tapping her foot like impatiently, like she's angry at us or whatever. I'm like, geez, let me smooth this over. I convinced them to have a two-way. There's a part in a two-way, a three-way. And there's a part where they're, where I'm having sex with one while the other one is watching, and then I'll have sex with the other one while the other one is watching. And it's like they're not really like, there's no chemistry between them. I get pissed off, and I take my belt off, and I just start slapping like the walls and lamps and stuff in my bedroom. I have roommates and stuff, mind you, in like a condo in Wicker Park in Wrigleyville, and I just start like trashing, like a mirror shatters everywhere, and they both get scared, and they start hugging each other, and I'm like, okay, that's what I want to see. More of that, more of this. Does this make you happy, Mike? And they start kissing each other, feeling each other up on their chest. And then I start eating one out, and then I'll look up. I'm like, do you fucking I'm smiling, kind of talking. Like, do you like that? Do you like that? You know what I mean? At one, then I switched to the other one, and then I actually piled one on top of the other, and I like penetrate one, then the other, one, then the other. I'm eating out their assholes and stuff like that. Getting all slimed up. And then I'm telling off again. I was like, while I was bawling with you guys, I realized something. This guy, he likes the hunt. He wants to chase someone. We're throwing him at I'm throwing myself at him. We gotta get like a prude out there. So we go to the bar, all three of us. They're dressed up as like really hot. And the blonde one's like, hey, you clean up pretty well when you try. And she's like, yeah, I'm not so bad myself. John, what the fuck are you looking at? John, what are you looking at? What the fuck are you looking at? Your screen's all bright and shit.
Right.
You're on my time. Pay attention to me. I'm just kidding.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. And okay, so they're all dressed up. The blonde cop is like, whoa, you really clean up, honey, when you want to. And she's like, I actually used to be pretty wild in high school. Who gives a fuck? And I'm also dressed up like a hot chick. And we're all just like basically making out at this trashy ass club. Guys keep trying to come to our table, and we keep pushing them away, like really bad. Like really rejecting these guys, like throwing glasses in their faces and shit, like get the fuck out of here, pouring drinks on their heads to like really make, if you're gonna want to get through this, you really got to get through there. Finally, this guy just basically just like dives on the table, you know what I mean? It starts just like attacking us, and he's the guy or something like that, serial killer. I step on his neck, floor of the club, and one of the women takes their handcuffs out and handcuffs him. And we're just so angry at this guy. We take him into like a bathroom, on a beach bathroom. And I sodomize him a couple times. And we have pictures of the people that he murdered. And we're like, we made a slideshow of it, and we're showing him a slideshow. And each time we show him like one of the victims, we cut one of his fingers off and stick it in his anus. And we cut his penis off. We make him eat it and swallow it, and cauterize his gaping wounds and stuff like that. I rip out one of his eyeballs and put in a like a ball bearing that I heated up. It's glowing red hot. I put it inside of his eye hole. We keep feeding him meth to keep him like awake and stuff like that. And what else do we do to him? I cut off one of his butt cheeks, and cook it and eat it and make him eat it. I bring in homeless people to like do weird stuff to him. I don't know. Actually, I get a couple pit bulls that were on a kill list for maiming people. I put them inside there, and they chase him around for a little bit, bite off little bits of his body. And I get like a demented Korean barbecue chef to cut up a piece of his body and eat some of it. This notorious serial killer who was a Korean barbecue chef. He was like known for like cutting up his victims and frying them up and stuff like that. And then I go back home with these two police officers. I marry them both. And I have like 8 kids with them. And we have like a really healthy sex life, and our kids are all beautiful and grow up to be successful in different fields. Some of them are artists, some of them are actors. Some of them, a couple of them are fuck ups. One of them straight up dies early on for being a dumbass. And a couple of them are well off. Some of them are just kind of just hang out on porches. This one is just like wears jogging pants all goddamn day long. Has a ponytail. It's kind of like has a big ass. Doesn't do anything. But his book smart. Later cleans up their act. Well until like our 60s, we're still like we have our ups and downs. Like I'll have sex with one and then the other, or sometimes at the same time, depending on what's going on. But I get a lot of pleasure, and we all do. The end.
That's really good.
Thanks, man.
I picture when you guys were at the club and you were dressed up like a woman and they were both dressed up and you guys were like fending off these pickup artists. Mm-hmm. That the cops would open up their blazer to flash a gun at guys that were trying to get in.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Like once we confirm that it's not the guy, it doesn't match the profile.
Or just like these guys are trying to get in to fuck you guys and you're like, kicking them in the face and like throwing them off, and it gets to the point where they're just so hard up.
A couple of the guys are actually do me in my butt, but then like get shot in the back of the head by the cops. They find out like, oh shit, the dental records don't match up.
Yeah, I just I picture them like trying to like flood the zone like zombies, and you just have to start waving a gun at them. These
are guys that don't believe in true lesbians. You know what I mean? Yeah. They just think like when girls are at the club making out, they're doing it because they want attention. They don't believe in like real lesbians.
They're incapable of imagining a world where a woman doesn't want to have sex with them. It's part of the pickup artist mindset. Like you have to get into the mindset.
That's true.
If you're going to be a pickup artist,
you got to get that. That's like step one. You got to get that through your head.
Even though it's not true, you have to believe it. Otherwise, you're going to flop and become embarrassed in front of everybody.
Right. I just want to make a formal complaint. I don't think enough people are listening to the podcast. I think the podcast is a failure. I'm not disappointed in us. I'm disappointed in people not really spreading the word, not really being enthusiastic about what we do. And I think that's pretty fucking shitty of people who, all 7 listeners, however many people listen. I don't look at those numbers. I don't want to see those numbers, but I know it's not enough. I just want to say, if you're listening to this, I'm disappointed in you. You should be bringing in other listeners. You can hear how tired I'm getting, how frustrated I'm getting. You think I like acting like this? You think I like feeling like this? I'm just... Can you guys speak on that? What do you think?
I mean, I'm with you. I think that a lot of people listen to us as a dirty little secret, Mm-hmm. Like they're too, I don't know if it's cowardice or just self-hatred. They don't want to spread a joyful part of their life, share it with other people. They just want to either hoard it and keep it to themselves, or they're too embarrassed
mm-hmm.
to admit to themselves that they also enjoy fantasizing about putting shit in their ass
mm-hmm.
and torturing and killing people. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just
there is nothing wrong with that.
Share it with somebody. Just it's human. Why do you think people the two biggest consumed items of media, action movies and pornography?
Yeah.
Just come to fucking grips with that shit. Come to grips with
what
yourself.
What are you afraid of, you fucking cowardly little idiots?
Sorry, John. I didn't mean to
Yeah,
cut
John, what do you gotta say?
No, we didn't. We did like 18 episodes and didn't tell anyone yet. So, I mean, we really it hasn't. I don't think it's been around that long. You know what I mean? Like, we've only told a few friends about it.
You got a good
I
attitude.
don't expect them to tell any. I mean, they
Why should they?
they all know that I'm doing this, and they don't care.
I don't.
No one gives a
I don't
shit
tell-
about anything anyone's. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll get that
I
phone.
don't tell any of my friends about any of the stuff that any of my other friends do.
I told a couple of people. We should have at least
Yeah,
two
I
more,
think it's
two
just-
more on the stream.
yeah, I don't. I mean,
Listen, like I said from the beginning, if one little boy,
Yeah.
listens to
Or
this
girl.
and learns how to, or girl, yeah. If one kid listens to this and learns how to fantasize, then it's a success to me. So
yeah, you think anyone's listening that we don't know? Like just
No,
some random person? No, I don't either.
it's weird because like the numbers don't. Somebody's clicking on it, unless like there's like some bullshit bots, because the numbers suggest that people are listening to it.
Okay, we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, I know.
It's embarrassing.
John's wife just walked in, so
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm. Don't know why.
she, by court order, she has to check in on John every hour to make sure he's not putting something up his nose. It was the only way the judge would give him his license back. I'm gonna log off because I'm gonna go to sleep. So I'm feeling sick.
Okay.
Popping fucking Dayquil, like goddamn M&Ms all day long. Looped out of my zone. I came up with a little rap. It was shit. What did I say? I said, I'm so high that y'all gonna have to call NASA to find me. I'd drop some bars, but they'd burn up on re-entry. Oh, I'm so burnt out, I'll be hied up for the next century. Thanks.